Linvilla Orchards has two water sources located on either side of the farm. One creek is the Chester Creek, the other is Ridley Creek. Both of these creeks lead into the Delaware River. The Delaware River has eutrophication. Residential and industrial properties cause this when they use fertilizers. We consulted Linvilla Orchards about the ways they reduce their runoff to prevent eutrophication.
And sometimes it smells like mushrooms, but but it's an excellent source of organic matter, and it's about 2% nitrogen. So by mixing it with the leaves actually use up nitrogen. So when you put the leaves in the ground, it takes nitrogen away from the plants because the nitrogen has to go to the organisms to break down the leaves.
So when you mix that with that, it's taking the nitrogen from there.
So if we mix these together, it makes it to where there's virtually no addition, or like the two of them together have no combined nitrogen left, because this nitrogen is going to go to breaking those leaves down. But over the next 6 months, that decomposition process will start to give back the nitrogen. A combination of a bunch of different things, but it includes, we don't have enough animals, so we get horse manure from the racetrack down in Chester. Yeah, there's at the casino down in Chester, there's a racetrack where they do horse racing, betting on horses, and so they bring the manure out here, and we mix it with the leaves and the horse.
This is the contour and everything. And what does this do, the contour?
Well, by planting on the contour, the water follows the contour and goes very slowly, so it's not accumulating into at high speeds or high volumes, and so it keeps the erosion to a minimum.
Okay.
Use cover
Should I stop now?
Yeah,
Yes.
last waterway. And all of these things take maintenance, so we have to rebuild these every few years, and it's, you know, it's very precise. Like, we get out here with lasers and you know, measure exactly how wide and how deep. And
How long does it take to build?
the first building, another example of a terrace. So you see there's some erosion there because the water's running off of this driveway, and that's what we're trying to prevent. So that terrace there catches that water and slows it down, and it's at about a 1.5% grade, and so it just slowly, the water slowly moves that way, and the soil particles have a chance to fall out and accumulate in the trough, and eventually it empties out at this end. Working with NRCS, they designed a system just to keep the ground covered so that we don't get more erosion. Down adds nutrients to the soil.
What do you use the rye for? Is it just
Just the whole. Well, it has several purposes. You're right. It's a cover crop, so its initial function is to keep the soil in place over the winter.
Okay.
Once we harvest it in the spring, and when I say we harvest it, the rye gets to be about 7 feet tall, and so we make the big round bales out of it. But the root system is equally as big. So even though we're harvesting what's above the ground, it's produced a whole lot of organic matter under the soil as well. So there's a whole lot of organic matter that's staying in the soil after the harvesting. Then the big rye bales, we store them.
This is the rye that Linvilla grows as a cover crop. During the winter,
It keeps the
Linvilla
soil from
Orchards
eroding
uses
and
Christmas
losing its
trees as a
nutrients
buffer
during the winter.
to help reduce runoff.
We built this pond
Oh, I never knew there was a
to reduce runoff. So when there's a heavy storm, the water stays here and goes down the stream slower. But so this is built. It also serves as an irrigation pump to save some of the water. And